Marty, we've got a real treat in our newsroom right now, in our studio. You might remember him. Of course you do. It's Carl Palmer from Emerson, Lake and Palmer in Asia. He's here today talking all about the Carl Palmer Band performing at Water Street tomorrow.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us again.
You're more than welcome.
You've become a regular of sorts in our city, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm kind of connected to Rochester, whether it's to do with management. My lawyer's here as well.
That's wonderful. You better know that. You were performing with Asia, of course, the super band back in last year here in Rochester.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Right. And we have, I think it's 29th of August. We actually have an Asia Day. We met the mayor at the time. He gave us all that. Yeah, so we've got a strong connection.
Yeah. You were here with the band, Carl Palmer Band, yes, which a lot of us, a lot of your fans really love, and of course are looking forward to. We got some questions that I wanted to ask you from our Facebook page. We wanted to know about you being here, but tell me, what's it like to be able to perform again and to continue to perform after all these years, and be able to do what you love?
Well, I do what I love, but there's no need to retire. Performing is something for me which is really important. Play approximately 97 concerts a year.
Wow.
That's with Asia, with my own group. So I enjoy touring America. I've already been here this year with Asia. I was here last year with my own band. So it's a thing that just rolls around all the time. Mm-hmm. And for me, it's encouraging. I think the audiences are great in America.
Well, we love a good drummer.
Yeah.
And
I do
just
too.
Watching you perform, you get the sense, that takes a lot of vitality, a lot of strength. And when you walked in, I asked you, do you still have a lot of muscles from playing drums? And you said, well, you don't necessarily lift weights or anything.
No.
You just, I don't know, it keeps you in shape.
I've been playing 50 years, so you can imagine it's a long time. So during that time, obviously,
50 years.
Yes, I started when I was 11. I'm 61.
Yeah, you're really, it takes a lot out of you, 97 shows a year.
It does, yeah. The thing is, you need to sort of eat properly.
But it feeds you, though, doesn't it? The group, being in the group and performing in the fans,
it's
that's
life.
How it feeds
it's
you.
life. It's the oxygen. Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
You breathe it in.
Absolutely.
You breathe it in.
All day long.
And I love it. You have a great sense of humor.
Yes.
You breathe it in all day long. That's wonderful. Hey, this guy has a good sense of humor. Carl walks in and he goes, "May I sit in your seat?" He says, "This is my better side." And I laughed, and I was like, oh my gosh, he really wants to sit here. and I was like, are you serious? And he goes, with a face like this, both sides are great. I was like, oh my gosh. Here's some questions from some Facebook fans.
Good.
They want to know, will you ever tour again? Will ELP ever tour again?
Okay, so here we go. Last year we celebrated the 40th anniversary, and we played a prog rock festival in the UK. It's called the High Voltage Festival. It's been recorded, it's on DVD, and it's available.
Wonderful.
It's roughly about an hour and a half, close to 2 hours. That was the last performance with the group.
Okay.
The group won't play again. I decided that for me, I'd like to move on and do some other things, and I think it was, the right feeling for the whole of the band. Everyone felt, well, yes, let's just do that. We've done it. We had a great time. We played from 71 to 78. We played from 91 to 98. So we had a good 16 years. That's a long time. And to have capped it off with the 40th anniversary in the UK, having it filmed, recorded, I think would be the right way to leave it.
Yeah. Do you think that's hard for some musicians to know when to let it go, and to know when it's okay to say, you know what, I'm going to move on from this and do something else?
I don't think you ever know when it's absolutely right, but when you have got time to sit back and look at what time you've got left and what you can do, you say to yourself, hang on a minute. I think we could be done with that. And I appreciate all the fans around the world.
Oh, yeah.
And, the support over all the years. So it's a radical decision to make. But it was something that I was the one that said, hey, let's. And I think you just have to do it, and you have to kind of move on. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
There was a natural beginning, and there was a very natural ending.
Your band, how would you describe the sound? Is it similar to
nothing
any
like
of your
it.
things that you've ever done before?
No, nothing like it.
Okay.
What it is, it's an instrumental group playing classical adaptations. There's no keyboards, there's no vocals. It really is, there's no way prog rock music will ever come back. We know that. It'll always be there as an art form, like the Sistine Chapel, but it will never be back 100%.
I see.
But there is a strong underground movement of great musicians in England who go to all these various institutes, academies, and they're unbelievable players. And the only type of music that they can play to express themselves is the music that I play. So this will always be there, because the virtuosity that these people have is just unbelievable. So that's what it is. And we use guitar now instead of keyboards, mainly because the guitar players have advanced so much over these years compared to keyboard players. Keyboard play, I'll tell you what it's like. If you set up some keyboards and you get 2 or 3 guys to play, they'll all sound the same because it's the same equipment. You give a guitar to a guy and they all sound different. You know, because that's the inflection that the individual can put into the instrument. So that's what I've gone with. I've gone with Paul Yelatovic on lead guitar, a bass guitar, Simon Fitzpatrick, and they're like 25 and 30. So for me, this is the young blood, and this is what I need. And this is me being selfish and saying, I want what's happening today.
I want to just soak in what they've got today, because I love it.
Because it drives me, and I can carry on improving, and hopefully I still go for a while.
Okay, we're going to take a break. Can you stick around for a little bit?
Absolutely.
You got somewhere else to go.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we're going to talk more with Carl Palmer when we come back. Talking all about his show tomorrow night at the Water Street Music Hall, and we're going to learn more about what gets this guy going in the morning, what keeps him ticking, and there's another question one of the fans wants to know.
Yes.
Well, I'll ask you later.
Fantastic.
That's called a tease.
Absolutely.
You like that? We'll be right back. We're having a fascinating conversation with Carl Palmer, who's at our studio today. He's got a show tomorrow night at the Water Street Music Hall at 8 o'clock with the Carl Palmer Band, and we thank you for joining us today. We've been having a great time talking about how, the band Asia and how that is still touring last year. As of last year, are you still touring with them at all?
Well, we toured this year, Asia. We finished off around about April, May, and we'll be back in the studio January, February next year because it's Asia's 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
So we're putting together a special box set. Yes, and we'll be back into America towards the end of 2012.
A lot of people have questions about Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and if that's ever going to come back. You were saying you just recorded something with the band.
Yes, we did High Voltage, which was the Prog Rock Festival last year. We recorded an hour and a half of the show, all music, and we've added some new interviews and bits and pieces.
When's that going to be available?
It's available now, I believe, in Europe, and I think within a matter of weeks here.
Okay.
Prior to Christmas, it will be out for sure.
Someone wanted to know on Facebook, what's in your, they said CD collection, but in your music collection, I'll just put it that way, because in case you have digital music and albums.
Yeah, well, I'm quite eclectic in what I listen to. So I listen to, obviously, a lot of classical music. I listen to quite a lot of rock music. I like folk. I like everything. I don't really home in on one particular area. I like tango Motown. I like pop music. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm broad. Yeah.
That's great.
And I've always been that way. I think my family. We've got a lot of musicians in my family, and we have just got a rather large selection, or we did have when I was a kid, and like I do in my house today, of CDs and things. So I listen to everything. I can't say that's my favourite music, or that's my favourite drummer, or because I just love tons of people. You know.
But you did say that you do have a particular way of playing that is all your own.
Yes.
Okay. And that if you couldn't play like that still, you'd have to find something else to do, right? You said another.
Yeah.
Because when I'm watching this is the action, the rhythm, the way you perform. You said you're 61. That doesn't look like a 61-year-old.
Oh no, that facelift is good.
No, you move like a man with and I'm not to say that 61-year-old men can't have vitality, but you move like a man who's in his 20s. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
You've been putting my foot in my
I'm with you all the way.
I totally am.
I'm on your side, trust me.
Yeah, but that's the way you play. You've always played.
Yes, I've always played, so it's a style that I've developed over the years, and because that style has been developed, and that's how I am, if I can't produce that, then it wouldn't really be me playing. So I'd have to look at an alternative style of music. But I've always considered myself to be a rock drummer. That's what I wanted to specialise in.
Okay.
And that's the end of the story.
Even though the Carl Palmer Band has a different sound than, say, Asia or ELP, you still perform as a rock drummer.
Yeah, that's what I am.
That's what you do.
I'm technically, always looking to improve and stuff. Basically, that's what I am. I'm not a jazz drummer. I'm not a big band. I can play all these forms of music.
Sure.
But I decided to stay true to what I really am, and not move off the buses or something.
Well, it's great, and we are so glad to have you in. We love that, Rochester is part of your, on your list of places to visit each year, and I know your fans are glad to see
I'm pleased to be here. I'm looking forward to playing the concert tomorrow night. And obviously it's a bit of a celebration of Emerson, Lake and Palmer's music as well.
That's wonderful. Yeah, you're kind of bringing together all your different musical forms and bands and whatnot.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well,
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this show. Local headlines coming up. Stay with us. Thank you so much.